Hello, I'm Dr. J, and today's session goes over the Successful Business Plan's Secrets and Strategies, Chapter 1, The Successful Business. It is not enough merely to survive, the goal is to succeed. In this chapter, we're going to be going over the factors of a successful business, the business concept, understanding the market, financial control, responding to global opportunities and trends, what motivates you, and of course, which includes the personal satisfaction, the four C's: control, challenge, creativity, and cash. So this is a nice quote from the legendary venture capitalist John Doerr. Now more than ever, we need the power of new ideas, new businesses, and the resulting new jobs. One of the most important things is that we have is when people start businesses, they create jobs. The majority of this country here in the United States, the majority of jobs is from small businesses. Of course, medium-sized and large companies, but small business is where the majority of Americans are employed at. So when you have an idea and you want to create a business, do it, because not only are you creating wealth for yourself, but you're also creating jobs. So what we'll be talking about, as I mentioned, is the beginning steps of building a successful business plan. Building a successful business plan is not an overnight thing. It takes a while, and it's building blocks that you build to step by step by step that provides a great outcome of a business plan. So it's not the planning, it's the planning, right? It's not the plan that helps you succeed, right? You have to plan, you have to do the planning. It makes you examine all the perspectives of the business, from the financials to the management to the markets, looking at all the factors that can affect your business. So, for example, who's my competition? What outside factors, external factors play a role in this? Is there something going on is there a law or a policy that may affect my business? And it's better to make the mistakes on paper than it is to do out in the real world. A lot of folks go on to business not having written things down and just doing things, and it can be costly mistakes because they didn't write it down. They didn't see what could be the potential outcomes. So let's get into this first chapter here. So what are some of the factors of a successful business? So here are the various bullet points that we'll be touching briefly on, and of course throughout the various chapters we'll be talking more in depth. But of course, the business concept is one of the most important factors of a successful business. Understanding the market. What's the health? What's the industry health? Is it declining? Is it on the uprise? Is it stagnant? Right? You probably don't want to get into a declining industry. It's probably going to be difficult, and you're probably not going to make as much money. Right? Motivated employees, financial control, adapting to change, and that's the part where a lot of businesses fail to do. Whether it's a small business or a large corporation, if you're not adapting to change, it could definitely impact your business and responding to global opportunities. So let's look at the first part, the business concepts, right? It means the needs. Meeting needs is the basis of all businesses. So you have to have a successful business element. It has to include one of these main things in order to build a successful business concept. Is this something new? Are you creating a new product, service, feature, or technology? One of the things too that you have to recognize in business is that almost everything that has been created or done has been done, and if it hasn't been done yet, it's probably because there's no market for it at the current moment. You just have to look at things differently. For example, there's a very famous restaurant slash bowling alley called Pinstripes. Pinstripes is, of course, they have a bowling alley and some other games, but it also is a nice restaurant. It's just a combination of two things. It's combining a bowling alley with a restaurant, right? That's something new. Something better, right? Improving on existing product or service, right? Either more features, a lower price, greater reliability, faster speed, or increased convenience. So you're looking at a product and just making it better. You're serving an unserved or new market, right? So you're tapping into a market that's in great demand, an unexploited niche market or unserved location. As the saying goes, niches make riches. If you find a niche market for you, you can make a great amount of money. Or you can serve a market that hasn't been served. The new delivery distribution, so you're providing product or services less expensively to a wider geographic or a greater choice. Or the last point is increased integration, right? Both manufacture and sell your product or offer more services and products at one location. So, in order to have a successful business, you have to include one of these nice concepts or more than one. If you have one, it kind of goes and bounces off to the other, right? If you create something new and you find an undeserved new market, there you go, you have a pretty successful business. Or you can do something better and have a new delivery or distribution way of doing things. So when you're creating your business or you're thinking of a business idea, make sure you take into consideration one of these business elements. So something new, right? You are creating a new product, a new service, or having a new feature, or a new piece of technology. Uh, One of the things about creating a technology is not everyone has the resources to create an iPhone or a tablet or a computer, but perhaps you can create a service or a product around that particular piece of technology. For example, the iPhone, a lot of businesses, a lot of product and services and features came out from the iPhone, right? Think about all the apps that were developed because of the iPhone. Think of all of the repair services companies that were created because of the iPhone. All of the products available, right? Phone cases and protective gear, and things to add to your phone. So think about that perspective as well when you're creating something new. Something better, right? More features or a lower price, more reliability, probably getting a faster speed, or it's a much more of a convenience. So perhaps there's already a product, but you're just doing it better. Underserved or new market, competitors can't satisfy the entire market, right? For example, Walmart specifically puts its locations on certain areas, right? You don't see a Walmart in every single town because it doesn't make sense for them to do it in every single town because they're not going to make money. For example, out in the rural areas of Illinois or other places of the country, you're really not going to see a Walmart in small towns. You may see it in bigger towns, but in small towns, there are more niche supermarkets that have it, for example, that serve that underserved location, right? You see smaller chains of supermarkets. Like, for example, in Illinois, there's a chain of grocery stores called Burkhart's. And Burkhart's serves these smaller communities in the rural areas, typically in kind of the rural areas or the smaller towns, because of course Walmart does not serve much of those communities because Walmart's looking for return on the profits and looking for bigger regions and hubs and areas. Or you find a niche market for it. If you find a product or service and you find a niche market specifically looking for your product or service, hey, you've got a good business. Uh, as I mentioned earlier, niches make riches. So if you find a niche, make a killing off it. A new delivery system or distribution channel, for example, the web, right? The World Wide Web, it reaches more customers and serves basically a global world. New delivery system, for example, FedEx and UPS and DHL were new ways of delivering products all across the world. That was a new way of doing things. Before, it used to be the postal service office, and course, it would take forever. And then, of course, you had, the development of FedEx and um, UPS and DHL, and then, of course, an Amazon getting involved with delivering their own products. So they find ways of the distribution and delivery. Increase integration, right? Product manufactured and sold by the same company. So if if you didn't know this, a lot of these big manufacturing companies, like Tyson Foods and others, like they manufacture and sell like their own stuff. And other companies as well do. They manufacture and sold by the same company. It's just you never really know who's putting the label on that product or service. Um, of course, more product or services offered in one location is another way of increasing integration. And of course, understanding the market, right? Define the market, so gather the market and evaluate the market. If there's one market that hasn't been really strongly looked at and people forget about it, is the older generation, the retirees, the 60 and older. That is a growing market. There is a growing amount of people retiring every single day, and they need products and services for them. So make sure you gather your market data, evaluate your market, and determine if the market is ready for your product or service. Sometimes, when you do your research, sometimes the market that you're trying to reach is not ready for your product or service. Um, Another important one to understand is what is the industry health and the trends. Where is the industry headed? Is it on the growing trajectory? Is it declining, or is it stagnant? For example, right now at the time of this recording, AI, artificial intelligence, is a growing industry at the moment as we speak. Newspaper industry, for example, the traditional newspaper industry is kind of on a decline, right? Nobody really reads a newspaper like they used to back in the day. It's all about social media. People want content quickly and fast. People are reading 150 characters or an Instagram post, and that's pretty much it. So that's in a decline. A stagnant would be restaurants, hamburger chains. That's not really a growing industry. It's stagnant. Um, so look at where the industry is headed. What are the major trends in the industry? For example, if you're going to start a restaurant, the major trend is delivery, right? Or in apps, and people want their food fast, and of course, they always want it fast, but now they want it faster, right? Do you have reward points with it? Is it available on Grubhub or these other food delivery services? Uh, Whether industry is consolidating, is your industry being bought out by conglomerates? Like the airline industry, for example, is one of those industries where over the last 10, 20 years, it's been consolidated. There's only so few industry airlines you can pick from. At the current moment, right, there's Delta, American Airlines, um, Southwest, and United. I mean, yeah, you have your low cost carriers, but in terms of major airlines, there's pretty much only four here in the United States that you can choose from. I mean, you got your low cost carriers, your well, you can include JetBlue with the other ones, but your Frontier and your Spirit. But other than that, you have your smaller regional ones, but those only serve a small market. So you have to realize this is being consolidated, right? The direction the prices are headed, are the prices going up? Are they going down? What's the consumer demand? Are the consumers even wanting this product or service anymore? Is there availability of supplies, and what's the global competition? So those are the things that you need to look at and see, what are the trends. Have a clear strategic position, right? Enables you to capture your particular place in the market. Define a mission statement. A crucial factor for successful business is the development of a clear strategic position that differentiates you from the competition, followed by a clear focus on that position, right? A lot of times businesses lose the focus because they lose the central character of their enterprise. You have to start off with what's the mission statement of your company, right? Customers, like your customers know what to expect. How do you distinguish yourself from competitors, right? Like, for example, if I'm shopping on Amazon, I know what to expect from Amazon. If I go eat at McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts, I know what to expect. My expectations are of this product or service. So you have to be able to remember that. And also your mission statement, right? For example, McDonald's, their market is the low income folks or lower middle income folks. Not saying that rich people don't buy McDonald's, but that's who McDonald's is focused on, and they cannot lose sight of that because the moment they start increasing prices, they're going to lose out on the majority of their clientele, and they can't do that. And so, and they realized that not too far from the time of this recording, McDonald's was raising their prices too high, and their main consumer base was like, "Well, that's too high. We can't buy that at a consistent basis." So of course, McDonald's had to realize who is the customer that they're serving and what their mission statement is. Capable management. One of the things too about business is that you have to is this individual capable of managing their perspective job duty for this business. A lot of times, businesses fail because maybe they're in the wrong industry or a declining industry or the product or service is not right. But one of the majority reasons why businesses fail is because of the wrong people behind the wheel. The last thing you want is to hire the wrong person to lead the company or the wrong person to lead the marketing efforts, and you don't want to do that. So you need to find individuals who have the experience, who are realistic, who are flexible, and ability to work well with others. Nobody wants to work with a jerk. So you have to have people that work very well with each other. So it's very important to hire the right people. Um, Again, the employees and the managers are crucial to success. If you hire the wrong people, it's going to not be very successful. Talent labor marketing is companies, compete for stellar applicants, right? Good reputation attracts good employees. Morale is, you have to have good morale for a company, right? If the morale of your employees is low, it's going to show on the company. So, um, financial control. Things take longer and cost more than anticipated, right? Key to any business is how it handles its money. Not full anticipating startup costs can immediately place impossible pressure on new business, right? So poor cash flow management can bring down even a seemingly thriving business. So making sure that you have control of your finances is very important. Um, Establishing good financial procedures at the start is very important. Always review financial statements monthly. Changes you can anticipate. Changes always happen. And you have to be able to understand that nothing is going to stay the same. If you recall, during the times of COVID, nobody expected this pandemic to hit. And when the pandemic hit, it was a global crisis, and a lot of small businesses took a brunt of it and closed down. Restaurants, bars, and other small businesses. It was definitely a not so much a climate change, but it was definitely a sociological change in people. It was a health change as well that changed the way businesses do. And with that, with COVID came the rise of food delivery in terms of using like apps like Grubhub and such, and of course doing curbside pickup. I don't think curbside pickup is going away anytime soon. People really kind of like that. So you have to realize you have to anticipate the changes, right? So technology changes, right? Right now, AI is coming to the forefront. So how do you adapt to AI? Sociological change, the demographics. People are getting younger, people are retiring more. The lifestyle, what's the trends and the changes, right? People's lifestyles have changed dramatically, right? People are always on their phones, always on technology. Competitive changes, right? People probably want lower prices. They're more tight with their money. Climate change, extreme weather can cause disruption. And, if it's, for example, if your area used to have snow all the time during the times of winter, and all of a sudden climate change is happening and it's not snowing as much as it once was, and you had a snowplowing business, that can definitely impact your snowplowing business. And so you have to anticipate things that change will happen. Studies of business success over time have shown that companies that emphasize goals in addition to making money succeed better in the long run than sole motivation is monetary. This is called, putting KPIs, putting measurements. KPI stands for key performance indicators. So what a key performance indicator does is that you put a measurement on an employee to measure them on a weekly basis that gets you to your yearly goals. Like if you have a yearly goal that you need to meet for a business, how can you break that down on a weekly basis for an employee to meet that goal that's going to help them meet the yearly goal? And so when you put goals for an employee to meet, it really makes a difference for businesses because it helps them get to reach their end goal. And so, again, articulating your company's values to employees and suppliers and even your customers constrain your commitment to the business. So value-driven companies often have a greater success in attracting and retaining good employees. You also have to look at global opportunities, right? See, even a small company with an online presence may sell its products internationally, right? A successful business in global environment must at least evaluate international opportunities. So look at ways, are there global opportunities? Is there a target market? What's the suppliers like? What's the legal issues, the social responsibility? So I would not shy away from looking at potential global opportunities. And the last part of this is the 4 C's: control, challenge, creativity, and cash. Consider your personal goals when deciding on your business concept, right? For smaller enterprises, sole proprietors, one-person teams, issues of personal satisfaction can be a central element in determining long-term success. Some businesses fail and others flounder because their founders or the owners or the key managers are uncertain what they really want to achieve, or because they did not structure the company in ways that satisfy their personal needs and ambitions. So, consider these goals, write down your goals, consider the control, the creativity, the cash, and the challenges that arise. So you have to think about those when you're doing the 4 C's, right? What motivates you? What's your personal satisfaction? So this wraps up chapter 1, the successful business. So again, when you look at it, really review the business concept portion, making sure that you are understanding your market and what is the industry health and where is the trend going. Thank you.